percussionist is normally an accompanying player, Zakir often gets star billing at concerts because of the large crowds he draws, and listening to his performance, one can easily see why. Born into a musical family, Zakir Hussain is the son of the legendary Ustad Allah Rakha, doyen among the tabla players of the older generation. It was natural then that the young Zakir should get into the rhythm of things early.
As you grow up in a music family, you keep hearing things and you bang on things, and before you know it, you're already kind of playing. So that's what happened, and by the time I was 7 or 8, I was already playing school concerts and things. But I think my general training or real training started when I was about 8.
From an early age, he gained wide recognition as a talented young tabla player, and it wasn't long before he was performing regularly on stage. In these early concerts, he would often perform along with his father. As his command grew, he was soon accompanying the leading names in Indian music. But Zakir's quest for knowledge was even then drawing him towards further research into the theory and the practice of music at an international level.
We've always felt we have 5,000 years old history of music, that we may be the teachers of music to the rest of the world. But I also feel that it's important to learn from the rest of the world so that we may understand from their point of view what we are, seeing us from outside as opposed to just being in here. So I believe that that's an important aspect of my learning.
Another aspect of his cross-cultural music interest is his experiments in fusing Indian and Western or even African musical traditions. Zakir is a widely travelled performer and has held a number of fusion concerts with a variety of international musicians. But this was one area where father and son didn't always see eye to eye.
He wanted me to learn and have the experience of tradition first. But I promised him that whatever I do in terms of fusion or other kind of experiments, that I would return back to my roots and do traditional music and learn that music and keep performing it. So that would be my major thing, while my experimental stuff would be just a little thing on the side that I would do to get more information and learn more.
More recently, Zakir was part of a unique concert that was both impromptu and experimental in nature. A tribute to the essence of the spiritual master Osho. The evening had begun on a soft beat with Zakir Hussain and percussion master Shivamani setting the mood. And as the hours slipped into the night, the other masters joined the duo. Vishnu Vinayak Ram on the ghatam, Bhavani Shankar on the pakhavaj, and Vinayak Ram's son Selva Ganesh on the kanjiram. And towards the end, the reverberating fusion of sound and music created a crescendo that left both the audience and the performers at a stratospheric high.
We were having a good time and we were doing unconventional things and we were just like kids, enjoying the roller coaster which is known as rhythm.
A regular concert schedule is hectic enough. For many performers, fixing up dates and venues, practicing one's music in the spare hours, and shuttling from place to place for the performance. To Zakir's credit, he has managed nonetheless, and he has also found the time for another major activity, arranging and playing the musical scores for some highly acclaimed films as well as acting in them.
It does help to get my face across to people and to a different audience, and other people started listening to me, and so I think that's partly responsible for what you may call the star status.
As far as acting is concerned, the Ustad thinks that he has done a better job in Sai Paranjpai's to-be-released film, Saaz.
Sadhana suggested why not him play the role of the music director, the composer in the film. And, and since it's just right up my alley, being a composer, I do it all the time, so it seemed like there was a natural thing to do. And who would want to pass up the chance of working with two really incredible artists like Sai Paranjpai and Shabana Azmi.
More interestingly, Saz also has 3 songs composed by Zakir. Meanwhile, Zakir has composed music for other films as well, among them Ismail Merchant's film Muhafiz. Working as a music director, Zakir puts his deep understanding of Indian and Western forms to good effect.
Custody has been, I think, for me a great experience because I got to use some of my music that I had learned when I was learning music in University of Washington in Seattle, where I did my PhD in music. So I used Western classical music like Mozart and Strauss and Schumann, various things like that, and utilize them in custody as well as keeping the traditional ghazals patterns going, and so it was a challenging thing and I enjoyed that very much.
In such a situation, it is interesting to see the wide appeal that Zakir Hussain has, especially among the young. This impish young virtuoso has an engaging manner and none of the aloofness one might associate with the big name. As Zakir's musical stature has grown from strength to strength, his relationship with his father has matured, and we can see distinct stages in its evolution. With the older maestros in the twilight of their careers, it is the likes of Zakir Hussain who will bring the unique beauty of Indian classical music to a new generation. And you can be sure that these hands, which create a magic flutter on the taut skin of the tabla, will tap out those timeless messages true to beat.